Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. There is a lot of work going towards the current star system Stanton in 2021 as Cloud Imperium, as well as their new planet and star system focused studio, build out more systems and content. But what's left to be completed in the Stanton system, and what's planned to be complete this year, and what else are we waiting on? So let's start with the Aaron Halo. This is a massive asteroid field separating Microtech and ArcCorp, which are on the sort of outside of the Stanton system from the central area where Hurston and Crusader are. This requires Cloud Imperium to have new asteroid tech, some of which is being worked on and will start to appear in 3.13 if the roadmap's anything to go by. The asteroid field itself is extremely dense and will have great opportunities for miners, but also maybe and probably pirates. There are massive gates here as well that are assumedly sort of custom security checkpoints owned by ArcCorp that are, according to law, requiring citizens to travel through them to get past them either way. Whether there is no way through without that, or if it's a crime to avoid them, remains to be seen though. The Aaron Halo is due to have work done to it for Q3, Q4 2021. We have Crusader. So this is a sort of planet we have in game, although it's faked at the moment. It is a placeholder. We're looking for a real gas giant, which is going to be coming to Stanton, we hope, in 2021, along with its floating landing zone, Orison. It looks like there are at least 2 iterations of Orison planned on the roadmap, version 1 and version 2, so sort of expect some of Crusader and Orison in the first drop, and then the rest of it later in the year. And the gas giant is supposed to have points of interest and content around it beyond just the landing zone there of Orison, and the mighty shipyards there as well. So sort of like there are big capital style shipyards around here. This is where Crusader build their ships. It's very much a floating garden though, Orison, and very pretty as a landing zone. The air's breathable, but I don't know how I'd feel about it if I lived there IRL. That would be terrifying. I'd feel like it was going to fall out of the sky. Eventually, animals, space wells on Crusader, Zythopods on Lorville, and really everywhere else. Zythopods, the Oni crabs, they are pretty much like rats. There's space cows that are being worked on. Sort of anywhere there's going to be UE farming, they are sort of like an animal that they bring around with them in the UEE because they're very popular. There's Ranta, whatever they are. We know there's Ranta dung in game, and we know that they want a Yeti on Microtech. But basically, there are teams working on animals right now. Jump points are due to have some work done during Q2, Q3 2021. So jump points will be a conduit to move to the attached star system, but also for ships, pirates, economy, affecting elements all sort of like to come into the game. Pyro will have pirate incursions coming into the Stanton system and then retreating back to Pyro. The Xenothreat fleet that we're expecting to see in-game very soon as part of the 3.12 cycle and the associated missions and that sort of fleet battle stuff, and they come from Pyro. Technically, they are a pirate outlaw organization, extremist sort of group from that Pyro region. But once we have jump points in, and then we sort of like get more work towards the dynamic universe simulation, there's going to be content flowing between jump points into the Stanton system and out of the Stanton system, and that's going to hugely affect economy and gameplay between those areas. That dynamic universe simulation, the way that literally goods and resources are turned into other goods, which then need to be moved around the verse, which are then effectively go into shop inventories and then are sold. That's huge. That's a player-influenced economy, but not a player-run like in EVE Online. But these factory nodes that make things, I just love the idea of the economy in the game. They may have stations and defenses around them, those jump points as well, so they need to spacescape those areas. They may be in nebula and gas clouds as well. All of that's being worked on this year. We know that Pyro will be the first connection and jump point that we have in the Stanton system, but there are 2 more in the Stanton system. Magnus, which actually I think is a pretty simple system for them to get in within the next couple of years, and Terra. Now, Terra, a little bit more complicated, sort of like a hugely built up human system with, well, at the very least, a mighty, beautiful city, Terra. And that said, they do have ArcCorp in game. That's a city planet, so maybe Terra isn't too complex, as maybe they just need to make a really, really impressive sort of hero city. And then the rest of the planet can maybe be procedurally assisted in its building, and probably would be. So maybe it's not as complex as I think. Generally, some more points of interest need to be brought into the game and will help massively flesh out the Stanton system, but all other systems as well. So this is interesting things to scan down in space and on the ground, from asteroid fields to mineral deposits to salvage sites to anomalies, pirate bases, distress calls, ambushes, new outposts, homesteads, towns. Huge amounts of sort of things there. We know there are various updates to the current gameplay area that they're working on, updates to prisons coming, more updates to space stations, cargo decks, getting gameplay actually associated with them, places to store cargo, new cargo types, even ship-to-station docking. These are little areas on space stations where the docking collars will come out and attach to another ship. But they also have like receptions and various little areas there. There are various Stanton system polishings going on that are being shown as tasks on the roadmap as well. Asset updates, object presets, planetary painting, global data planetary bodies all getting updated in the Stanton system, but expect to see continuous visual improvements on that as well. We know that they're going to have scramble races back on the menu, and Grimhex and the Yellow Asteroid Field is getting space combat races and betting there at Grimhex. Delamar and its landing zone Levski will eventually move out of Stanton and into the Nix system in the future, so that's getting moved out. Tech-wise, beyond all of this though, sort of adding to gameplay area functionality, that's going to be like things like server meshing. Server meshing and server optimizations are needed to support the MMO type player base with seamless sharing of data between servers and them spinning up servers based on the population of an area. You're going to see huge gameplay changes and areas much more fleshed out as NPCs sort of like fill out these areas, but also players do too. Also, as a point of note, you might see Cloud Imperium artificially control populations of areas as well, increasing taxes and fees for landing, trade and repair, rearm prices and refuel prices. Maybe there's queuing systems. NPCs might be running amok in certain areas, and they might have missions spawn in totally different areas to sort of move players out of an area towards these lucrative, better missions. So there's loads of clever things they can do to stop people all congregating in exactly the same place. Also, major changes to the gameplay area that we'll be seeing throughout 2021 include things like spawn closets that will have NPCs able to spawn and despawn where needed in a more diegetic manner. You'll see NPCs coming as reinforcements. You'll see them as security forces. They plan to remove the FPS armistice zones, so you're going to be able to pull out your weapons on your character at landing zones at your own risk, and they need to have this supported by laws and security and defenses as well, but also those spawn lockers will spawn security forces. True physical inventory and full persistence as well, they're going to really change the way we interact and move around the verse. As new gameplay loops are created, that gameplay will be supported by updates to the Stanton system. That could be new minables or new salvage sites or lots and lots of other potential things. Rentable habs is something I'm really looking forward to as well. I want to live in a nice apartment out Horizon above Crusader. Also, base building. I want to build bases on planets. These are cool things that are going to add to that gameplay area. But I suppose you could talk about every individual gameplay loop in a similar fashion and go, it's going to add to the gameplay area because people are going to be doing things there and there's going to be more stuff to do there. So, yeah, I'm pretty hyped for all the additional content that's coming. We do need sort of things like full persistence, iCache, server meshing to get some of this in for sure. And I'm looking forward to the completion of that Stanton system, though general points of interest and planetary updates will come beyond its completion as well, that will add to more variety, giving us better visuals, giving us more to do. We might see extensive road networks in the future, underwater and water gameplay, but I wouldn't expect to see that anytime soon. We should start to see star systems and gameplay area expand out more rapidly after 2021-2022. Expect to see like a couple of new systems. What looks likely is the Pyro system, and then the Nix system, maybe building towards the Odin system, maybe the Magnus system soon after that as well. But as they get this new studio up and running and up to speed, they can then start to make good use of the tools and assets that Cloud Imperium have built for their game. That should start to pay dividends. At least that appears to be the plan. But what do you think? Do you think we'll have most of the Stanton system, at least the physical locations, complete by the end of the year? Do you think we could see the Pyro system and first jump point by the end of 2021? Or do you think that's going to be pushed to 2022? Do you think we'll start to see a much more rapid building out of star systems after 2022 or towards the end of that year? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. It's January, and to start the new year, I am giving away 5 ships with game packages to 5 lucky commenters on my videos. So we've got the 100i, the 125a, the 135c, the Talon, and the Shrike, all up for grabs with, as I said, game packages and lifetime insurance. Just comment on any of my videos made during January to be in for a chance of winning those. Hey yo! Do you not like having all your data stolen? How about your browser history? Do you want some random dude on the internet to know all of that? 1 second, I'm just watching some dank memes, as if I'm from America. But I'm from the UK. What am I using to do that? Well, it's NordVPN. It might save your life, though I can't think of any scenario right now that it would. Links below for a discount. Not only do I shill for Nord, but I also shill for Shadow Cloud Gaming, basically an internet-based alternative to having a gaming PC. It's a monthly subscription, very affordable, and they've got a load of cool hardware options coming in the very near future. It's available in a large portion of the world, so check that out. Again, links below for discount. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and all that jazz, and I'll see you in the verse. Say goodbye to everyone, Zin.
Goodbye to everyone.